The United States is the world's dominant military power. But while its arsenal of conventional strike assets contains some of the most sophisticated weapons in the world, much of its strategic nuclear triad forces are aging quickly. Modernization programs are underway, including a replacement for the Ohio-class submarine, next-generation land-based ICBMs, a new long-range nuclear-capable bomber, and a modernized air-launched cruise missile. Please join the Cheese Missile Defense Project on July 14 for a full-day conference on U.S. homeland cruise missile defense. The Cheese Missile Defense Project is pleased to roll out our new report, Boost Phase Missile Defense. Interrogating the Assumptions. The study provides a fresh assessment of key issues related to boost phase defense, including the ways missile threats are evolving and broader technological trends. Intercontinental ballistic missiles, ICBMs, were first deployed by the United States in 1959 and continue to be a critical weapon in the American nuclear arsenal today. ICBMs have ranges between 6,000 to 9,300 miles. Making virtually any target in the world vulnerable. Due to their powerful and deadly nature, ICBMs are considered a strategic defensive weapon. To learn more about the different types of ICBMs, click on the links below.
I love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up!
The first operational craft. The existence of a stealth program, designed to produce aircraft that were effectively immune to radar detection at normal combat ranges, was announced by the U.S. government in 1980. The first aircraft employing this technology, the single-seat Lockheed F-117A Nighthawk ground attack fighter, became operational in 1983. The second was the Northrop B-2 Spirit strategic bomber, which first flew in 1989. Both aircraft had unconventional shapes that were designed primarily to reduce radar reflection. The B-2 was of a flying wing design that made it only slightly longer than a fighter yet gave it a wingspan approaching that of the B-52. While the F-117A had a short pyramid-shaped fuselage and sharply swept wings. Stealth technology. Ever since radar-directed defenses began taking a toll of bomber formations in World War II, aircraft designers and military aviators had sought ways to avoid radar detection. Many materials of the early jet age were known to absorb radar energy rather than reflect it, but they were heavy and not strong enough for structural use. It was not until after the 1960s and 70s, with the development of such materials as carbon fiber composites and high-strength plastics, which possess structural strength as well as being transparent or translucent to radar, that radar signature reduction for piloted combat aircraft became possible. Reducing radar signature also required controlling shape, particularly by avoiding right angles, sharp curves, and large surfaces. In order to direct radar energy in the least revealing directions, the external shape of a stealth aircraft was either a series of complex large radius, curved surfaces, as on the B-2, or a large number of small, flat, carefully oriented planes, as on the F-117A. Fuel and ordnance were carried internally, and engine intakes and exhausts were set flush or low to the surface. To avoid interception of radar emissions, stealth aircraft had to rely on inertial guidance or other non-emitting navigational systems. Other possibilities included laser radar, which scanned the ground ahead of the craft with a thin, almost undetectable laser beam. The Navy's ballistic missile submarines, often referred to as boomers, serve as an undetectable launch platform for intercontinental missiles. They are designed specifically for stealth and the precise delivery of nuclear warheads. One of the most powerful weapons in the U.S. Navy's arsenal made a rare port call in Guam over the weekend, sending a message to allies and foes amid Incorporated. The port visit strengthens cooperation between the United States and allies in the region, demonstrating U.S. capability, flexibility, readiness, and continuing commitment to Indo-Pacific regional security and stability, a U.S. Navy statement said. Movements of the 14 boomers in the U.S. Navy's fleet are usually closely guarded secrets. Nuclear power means the vessels can operate submerged for months at a time, their endurance limited only by the supplies needed to sustain their crews of more than 150 sailors. The Navy says Ohio-class submarines stay an average of 77 days at sea before spending about a month in port for maintenance and replenishment. It's rare for one to even be photographed outside their home ports of Bangor, Washington, and Kings Bay, Georgia. The secrecy surrounding the ballistic missile submarines makes them the most important survivable leg of the nuclear triad, which also includes silo-based ballistic missiles on the U.S. mainland and nuclear-capable bombers like the B-2 and B-52. But with tensions brewing between the U.S. and China over the status of the self-ruled island of Taiwan, and as North Korea ramps up missile tests, Washington can make a statement with its ballistic missile submarines that neither Beijing nor Pyongyang can, according to the analysts. It sends a message, intended or not: we can park 100-odd nuclear warheads on your doorstep and you won't even know it or be able to do much about it. And the reverse isn't true and won't be for a good while, said Thomas Shugart, a former U.S. Navy submarine captain and now an analyst at the Center for a New American Security. North Korea's ballistic submarine program is in its infancy, and China's estimated fleet of 6 ballistic missile submarines is dwarfed by the U.S. Navy's. And China's ballistic missile subs don't have the capabilities of the U.S. boomers, according to a 2021 analysis by experts at the Center for Strategic and International Studies. China's Type 094 ballistic missile subs are 2 times louder than the U.S. subs, and therefore more easily detected, and carry fewer missiles and warheads, Chi's analysts wrote in August. The US dollar has been on a major surge against major global currencies in the past year, recently hitting levels not seen in 20 years. It has gained 15% against the British pound, 16% against the euro and 23% against the Japanese yen. The dollar is the world's reserve currency, which means it is used in most international transactions. As a result, changes in its value have implications for the entire global economy. When energy and raw materials cost more, the prices of many products go up for consumers and businesses, causing inflation around the world. The only exception is the US, where a stronger dollar makes it cheaper to import consumer products and therefore could help to tame inflation. Most developing countries owe their debt in US dollars, so many owe much more now than a year ago. As a result, many will struggle to find an ever-increasing amount of local currency to service their debts. The stronger US dollar is a side effect of these higher interest rates. Because the dollar now offers a higher yield when deposited in a US bank, it encourages foreign investors to sell their local currency and buy US dollars.